What's this? What's this?
It's a Christingle.
What a name, what a name! How it really makes me tingle!
Please, brother, stop your song. Rhymes are very charming, but when we discuss serious matters as we must in this season, rhymes are of use only when instructing young children.
Then what's a Christingle? A stingle for Chris?
There is a decision before you. There are 2 towns you could visit here. The White Road carries many people to festive and fun Christmas Town. Ding-dong ding, ding-a-dong-a-ding, ding-dong ding-dong ding-a-dong-ding. And the Narrow to Bethlehem, where the Christ, the Messiah, God on earth, is born in human flesh.
I've always enjoyed human flesh. Which town is more interesting? Which will astonish?
I can certainly tell you which is sexier and more marketable. But I appeal to you to come with me to Royal David City and thence to Calvary.
Royal David? Is there a palace nearby? I'm Jack the Skellington, the Pumpkin King.
David founded this place long, long ago, but there is a king in Bethlehem tonight. Perhaps you would greet him in his lowly cradle.
And who are you? More royalty? A mayor in disguise?
They call me Saint Nicholas.
Saint facts. Saint Nicholas of Myra was a 4th century bishop in Asia Minor. Also known as Nicholas the Wondermaker, many miracles are ascribed to him, including the resurrection of 3 children who had been murdered and pickled in brine.
Over time, I have found myself tied to this joyous night.
And you stand out between these 2 towns.
As a guide to pilgrims like yourself, I am always halfway between the town of God and of the truth, and the secular Christmas town where my doppelganger presides over the hearts of humanity.
You have an evil twin. How really quite delightful, I'm sure.
I can hear you angling towards the word frightful, but please. The rhyme scheme and meter of songs and poems can warp the truth, and this is a deadly serious matter. Observe.
I see a jolly man in red. Can he be soaked in the blood of the dead?
The hearts of the living. He makes gifts to give to every child on earth.
Fiendish gifts?
They might as well be. No, the very act of giving and getting and buying is the fiendish part. The gifts are perfectly jolly. This so-called Saint Nicholas was once me. I am the soul, and he is the front, the veneer, the corruptible flesh.
Is he still you? Is he a saint?
We are long divorced. He has become the captain of capital, the master of mammon, the Santa of sin.
How can one man become 2?
Picture it like this. If a company or a party used God, his image and his name to push their ideology, to press their claim on cultural and fiscal domination of the earth, God would not be doing their work for them. They would have created a creature, a spirit of their own, named God. This is the real blasphemy, the true idolatry.
So this Santa Claus is the idol of Coca-Cola.
He is the idol of every child's heart. I was a giver of gifts to the needy. Under the mastery of Santa, Christmas has become all about gifts, expected gifts, gifts for the wealthy, things we do not need, but learn to desire. The stars of Christmas Day are Father Christmas, and you, the recipient of trinkets. Whither the Christ? And who gains most from this?
Why, whoever has the largest advertising budget.
You understand precisely. This is idolatrous and capitalist, as if the 2 words were not synonymous. If you yearn for gifts, Christmas Town is before you. But come with me to witness the divine presence. Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. A martyr, born in our defense.
How cruel a beginning.
How cruel an end, to take upon himself the sins of the world.
Saint Nicholas, what must I do to be saved?
I shall tell you, and you may be the first to take that hope of salvation into your hometown of All Hallows Eve, that the eve may end, and all be saints.
I'm ready to reveal it in the land of Halloween. It's the first and best of Christmases the land has ever seen. I know the Christmas carols all by heart. Carol facts. Jack's claim, which does appear in the canonical movie, to know the Christmas carols all by heart, implies that he has knowledge of controversial 15th century hymn Adam lay I boundum. Perhaps the only explicitly pro-sin Christmas carol, its main thesis is that the fall of humanity in the Garden of Eden was good entirely for the sake of Virgin Mary. Thus, any sin, any calamity, any tragedy that ensued is worth it, that she might be Heaven a Queen. The carol does not mention Jesus, and is thus a musical forebear of the Nightmare Before Christmas. And so come gather round, I'll make a start. There's a wonder I must tell you, and a story to unfurl, a messianic infant who was born to save the world. That includes us here in Halloween, each boy and child and girl. You must believe when I tell you this. He's as real as my skull, and he does exist. There's this thing, a Christingle. You make them out of oranges. The orange is the world, and it actually is. The ribbon is his single sacrifice, and so these lozenges...
Is the red for his blood?
Yes, it actually is. We remember how it's spilt by taking wine and breaking bread.
I see we eat his flesh and blood so sweet and very dead.
You've almost got the gist of it, a Christmas communion. But if it's really flesh and blood or spiritual union...
We eat the baby, suck him dry, I'll boil him in a stew.
I think maybe he will die. He already died. For you. It's going wrong. They cannot see the way it ought to be. St. Nicholas, help their theology.
What was that name he said?
St. Nicholas.
Did he say Santa Claus?
Of course I said St. Nicholas.
Who is this Sandy Claus?
Very well, I know I'm beat. They will not heed the gospel. Let's turn things round to Christmas Town. Salvation isn't possible. The ruler of this Christmas land is a fearsome king.
Alas, they have rejected the good news, and Brother Jack's efforts were in vain. Was I wrong to have hopes for All Hallows Eve town? I should have realized that they would make of a holy day a holiday. A perfect Christmas storm of merchandise. I wish I could not believe my eyes.